Matteo Arpe, CEO of Tinaba. Welcome to SDA Bocconi School of Management. Actually, for you, it's just coming back to your alma mater because you graduated here in Bocconi University.
Some years ago.
Actually, you had a long career in investment banking, and now you switched to the world of fintech. So my question for you, my first question is, what is your vision for the fintech industry and for the innovations brought in by fintech? Will they disrupt the current models of banking and financial services?
Again, thank you for inviting me. I have been working some 30 years in banking, therefore now I approach and we have been investing both in banking and fintech. And yes, I do think that fintech will be changing, I don't know whether disruptively or as an evolution, the industry as a whole. Let's say that banking has been living a sort of perfect storm in the last 7 years of interest rate environment, of regulations, of disruption in the system. And above all, the major issue is that the banking system has lost a little bit of interest in the young people. Therefore, young people and therefore the youth is more interested in payments and in transactional world rather than in banking.
The one that we can define as millennials are somehow driving the world of fintech.
Exactly. And above all, it seems that young people is looking for transaction to pay, and actually the bank is the place where they do go just when there is the first issue, the first important issue in their life, like a mortgage, buy a house, something like that. But there is a sort of lag between their growing up, therefore being students, then university, and then beginning to work, and the banking system. It's like, newspaper. There is, a sort of age where they do not approach the bank business, the banking business. And all the system and all the banking worldwide industry, which has been investing in distribution, therefore in retail branches, is now suffering, is now living a problem. Therefore, fintech today is majorly intending as a sort of industry which lives outside the banking system, which is a regulated business by the European Central Bank, Bank of Italy, or the Federal Reserve. In each place there is an authority. And the fintech is something which is not regulated and is outside. And every day is taking a little bit of business outside the bank. Therefore, we started with the payments, which are not more of banking nature, therefore they are credit cards. And every day there is a new venture outside the regulatory business. I do think that Tinaba is an exception to that the next step will be of fintech who are inside the core of the financial system, which is the banking system, therefore live alongside the regulated assets. Therefore, where we invested is Tinaba. Tinaba is the first worldwide experience where we plug in a bank, and we plug in a bank in each country. And actually, we empower all the payment systems, all the transactional world, which is not necessary to be a bank, but even the investment, the robo-advisory, taking loans, charity, crowdfunding, therefore all the experience that was not possible.
So why did you decide to invest in Tinaba at this stage?
We have been investing as a group in banking. The fund controls a listed bank, a private bank, and another bank which is for immigrants called Extra Banca. We decided to invest an important amount of money, capital, effort, therefore not only money but even human power in Tinaba, as we do think that the possible innovation inside the banking system will be the cutting edge of fintech future. What I do think will be the differences of technology, which is for free, which empowers the user rather than presenting new cases. Therefore, is transferring power to the user and being democratic.
So the bank becomes more accessible to the people, right?
Therefore, this is the sense, the revolution should be to be for free and to be able to meet and tackle real needs of the people that we can serve.
And what about the future of the professions in the field of banking and financial service? How will fintech impact, the world of, the professionals?
This is a major issue. As you mentioned before, I have been working in banking. Therefore, I used to run a commercial bank, one of the major Italian commercial banks, with some almost 30,000 people. Therefore, commercial banking business worldwide has been a capital-intensive business. Therefore, giving work, giving job to many people, professionals who really were the counterpart of the clients, therefore in the retail branch or whatever. Actually, this new distribution model will strongly impact. But it's not fintech which is disrupting the model, the model is disrupting by itself. Therefore, it will not be fintech accelerating this problem. Fintech may be a way to absorb and to relocate a good part of this headcount in a new business. To give you an example, the most important hub in Europe for fintech is London. And actually the government, the authority in London has decided and has approved the plan to invest in fintech just to absorb and to relocate banking personnel that will be part of a sort of rationalization. Therefore, there is an institutional and organizational and governmental approach to switch from one business to the other one, as they see that this is the future. Therefore, I do think that is not the cause of this disruption, will be an acceleration of this move, and partially can absorb a part of this professional that perhaps will change their normal infrastructural work.
Yeah, so accordingly, what is your suggestion for our current students or our students in a master in finance, like the master in corporate finance, that will be future professionals in the industry? What can you suggest to them? What is your advice? They are trained themselves nowadays, and probably they will face this kind of change. I
do think that talking, studying, and having this discussion that Bocconi is really launching on fintech is just the beginning. It's a very good beginning, because to understand this major world of fintech is a very wide concept, but inside that there are many verticals, many things that can be done. Now there are many young people who are approaching, and students and young professionals, the charity and the crowdfunding world. With the governmental constraints in terms of expenditure, there's a sort of supply by private with the crowdfunding and charity. This is a really new world, where in other places, in other countries, there is more attention. Therefore, I do think that young professionals should look at that, trying to understand actually which will be the segments of this wide concept of fintech that can take really a good wind in the next years.
You said to me that actually fintech is impacting in different areas of banking and financial services, so there are probably also many challenges, but also many opportunities for future professionals.
Just to give you an example, a practical example that everybody can really measure the impact. What we are considering to launch, and will be done in a few months, if not weeks, is a sort of capability to get a small loan in just 20 seconds through the mobile. This is something that is a sort of vertical, which is banking business through the mobile. There are changes in this world, continuously change, that really enable new things to happen. And obviously there are many risks, because it's very difficult to understand where the future will be.
Yeah, when you were speaking, it came to my mind, a concept like fast banking. It seems everything is accelerated, and people in a second can get a loan or can pay wherever they are. So it seems that everything is going into a faster world.
It's not fast, it's easier. The word is empowering, transferring some power to the user.
So it's the real democracy of the technology nowadays transferred to the banking world.
you don't need any more to go there. You can do it by yourself. Obviously, everything in a regulated world. This is something I should stress. Fintech up to now is majorly outside the regulated world. Therefore, you don't need to have compliance, lawyers, you don't need to have all this infrastructure. Actually, sometimes the controls are something, it's not only a liability, it's an asset, because it means that you really tackle all the issues and that you really are compliant with all the laws. Therefore, I think that the future will be of regulating this unregulated world. And we decided to be natively regulated. And this is something I do in the future will be differential in evaluating, assessing the business.
So, Matteo, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.